でもそう。
Road for 7 kilometers.
Oh no, it's Main Street.
Not here.
Yeah, I think it was like we could only go once. Love it. Wait, this came to the other campsite. Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Hot Friday, hot or cold? And then whatever Stephanie normally gets. She got a decaf Americano and then a cold. Okay. All right.
You there? Good. Thank you very much. 소리가 날 거라고 앞으로 가니까.